I see two hot spots right now. I don't know if they'll continue, but very likely they will. One is Ukraine, where the United States meets Russia, and the other one is Taiwan, where the United States meets China. And so those are spots that might take us to World War III. Will there be a war, or will these people be able to avoid it? So, that's one issue. The other one is, if there is a war, will it be the war that ends all wars? Like the last war, you know what I mean? And so a couple of people had questions on that or comments. They said the following. It says, people of the world are protesting and waking up. Okay, we are in need of World War III. Okay, and he continues, says, evil rules the world because the world is protesting against the oppression. World War III will be needed to confine back into a state of dependency. Protest all you want. World War III is coming. Is World War III desirable? Will it be, well, we kill a few billion people and then we start all over again? Is that the way it works? Or will it be like Einstein said, World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones? Is World War III desirable? Will it end at conventional weapons? Will they continue with nuclear weapons until there's nothing left? It's the way I look at it, it's a lose-lose situation no matter what. If there is not a war, we're going to fall because the global economy is going to fall to pieces. That's one side. If we do have a war, you're destroying the global economy as well. Even if someone wins, I don't know what that means. It's like going to be a Pyrrhic victory. Someone wins. What do you end up with? Well, you end up with a destroyed economy, global economy. Okay? And so if there is a World War III, even if we don't die by military means, we will die by economic means immediately right after that. Okay, so that's the way I see it. No, I don't think it's desirable to have a World War III. And the more we can postpone it, the better. Okay, that's the way I look at it. At least until I'm dead. Then guys can go ahead and have the war. If you want to continue having war, no problem. And continuing with that, so this fellow says World War III is happening right now. We're already. I didn't know there was a war going on. Okay, but he says right in front of our faces, hidden in plain sight, silent weapons for quiet wars, such as frequencies. We need to respond in a passive resistance way. Get rid of your television to start. There I agree. The best way to solve all these problems is, turn your TV off. You don't hear about the news, you don't have to worry about it. Especially stuff that's not in your local area that doesn't affect you. I mean, if you're in, I don't know, in a little town in Kansas, are you concerned that the Israelis and Palestinians are fighting out there? I mean, it's like, who cares? It's their problem. Not your problem, right? And you can say that about almost any hotspot on the planet. Ukraine, Taiwan, whatever. Who cares? It's their problem. And another fellow answers, passive resistance will not work. Our only hope that police and army rebel. Who controls the police and the army? I wonder about that, But no, the way I look at it, when the global economy collapses, and that's a when, not an if, when the global economy collapses, what will happen at that point? There won't be any money to pay the armies, the police, and even if you did have money to pay them, like you can create money anyways, Bitcoin, whatever you want to pay them with, it won't have any value. So there's no way to control the troops once money has no value. In fact, that happened to a great extent in Russia in 1917. The armies rebelled, the military, the soldiers, they rebelled, they mutinied, and how are you going to stop that? It's like all these people just going out there doing their thing, robbing stores, stealing grain because they were hungry, feeding their families. You can't stop that. It's massive. And, you better be prepared for something like that when the economy is no more. That's the way I look at it anyways. Okay, in another matter, fellow says, I made a response video to your theory on the causes of homosexuality. And I went there and looked at that video, and fellow, essentially, these are the main points, I guess you could say. Homosexuality doesn't exist. Theories don't explain behavior, okay? Homosexuals can change. So he thinks it's kind of like a learned thing, okay? Animals are not homosexual, and a man cannot have part of his brain in female form. In other words, You're either a man or a woman. You can't have a brain, a female brain in a man's body, so something like that, or parts of your brain or whatever. I don't know. All I can tell you is that um, I don't make these. I don't work off of these assumptions. I work out of the opposite. Okay, almost in every instance there. And here, let me show you one that's probably the most important there, which is that last one. Okay, here it is. Okay, and this fellow is Dick Schwab, and he studied what is called a sexually dimorphic nucleus. This is what he writes in one of his papers. He wrote several papers, and he's not the only one. Okay, and what you have is he says the following. He says, in a sample of brains of homosexual men, we did find that an area of the hypothalamus called the SCN contains twice as many cells as the SCN of a heterosexual group. Another nucleus is more than twice as large in heterosexuals as in homosexual men, whereas Allen and Gorski found that the interior commissure was larger in homosexual men than in heterosexual men or women. So all I can say is, yeah, they have found differences. People, in not only this group, Dick Schwab's group, but other people have found who do research. They claim to have found differences in the structure, certain parts of the brain, which are either smaller or greater in females and males. There are differences, and they found the same differences between men and women as they found between heterosexuals and homosexuals. So, I operate out of those assumptions. By the way, they found those same differences in sheep. Remember, sheep, about 10% of sheep are coming out homosexual. And they determined that because they take one of these male sheeps, and they have like 10 sheep in a stall, with their butts facing outwards. And the guy always comes and, mounts a male, not a female. And so they figured out that approximately 10% of sheep are gay. And when they looked at the brains of these animals, they killed them, I guess, or they died, and then they cut they looked at their brains. They found the same type of differences. There's a sexual dimorphism between heterosexual and gay sheep. And I'm sure if you do that with lions, mountain lions also as well, you see that there. And I'm sure there are other animals that have homosexuality. I don't think it's correct to assume that homosexuality doesn't exist, and it doesn't exist among animals. I think both of those are wrong assumptions. At least those are not the assumptions I make, okay, when I analyze these issues. Okay, and here talking about dimorphism, here we have another issue that I brought up, and that's whether males and females should have unisex sports. Should there be no differences between females and males? Should they all compete against each other in all categories? Boxing, judo, karate, whatever you want, okay? And a fellow says, for dimorphism to catch up, there needs to be an evolutionary pressure. But currently, females still prefer taller men. In other words, there is no evolutionary pressure for women to come up to the height and strength of men because they prefer, apparently, according to this law, stronger men or, taller men, etc. In most mammal species, individuals are attracted by genetic diversity. Pheromones attract only dissimilar individuals. Offspring will then have a better immune system. Will they? Will they have a better immune system because of these pheromones? And then women live longer because they have better immune system. They have more white blood cells than men. Okay, I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is. The need to protect the embryo during pregnancy. Well, all I can say, I'm not telling, I'm asking a question. Okay, all I'm doing here is asking a question. Will women, given enough time, given another 1,000 years, will they come up to speed with men? In other words, will there be no sexual dimorphism in the sense that men are stronger, taller, faster, etc.? Will they be the same? Or even women surpass them? Will there be a world champion female boxer, for example, heavyweight or whatever? I'm asking. I'm not speculating. I'm asking the question only. Okay. And yeah, all I can say is I don't know. The other question related to that is, does estrogen have anything to do with that? Does testosterone have anything to do with that? Is it that we are bigger, stronger men, because we have testosterone? Is that the reason? Or is there something else going on? Because, you have women who do not shoot up or anything, and they are strong, they are big by nature. And I'm sure they have a lot of estrogen in them. Okay, so, it's something to ponder whether estrogen and testosterone have anything really to do with strength, speed, and, all those good things that us men enjoy today. Maybe not tomorrow. Okay, so food for thought.